What's up, y'all? Fabian Speaks, man. Back again with another video. And as you can see by the title, man, I titled this video, God Found Me When I Wasn't Even Looking for Him, man. And that's a beautiful thing, right? That's a beautiful thing of suffering, like our Father in heaven, and the fact that everything is encompassing in His plan. And even when you think you're not close to God, you still close to God. Or when you think He's not listening, He's there. When you think everything's going array, He still got a perfect particular plan moving in the background, so to speak. So I wanted to make this video because it really ties into like the fact that God is omnipotent, omnipresent, like He's everywhere in anything. And like there's specific verses in the word that continue to encourage believers along the lines of that, be still and understand God is God. And seeking God first and prioritizing Him, and everything else will be added. You know what I mean? So with that being said, man, I want to tie into this because like at the most pivotal point in my life, to where I believe I had, I'm not gonna say the most spiritual growth, but where I was like being called, you know what I'm saying, in a sense to where like the word, things of the Lord were like magnetic to me. I can't explain it, man. This happened like I was I'll say 2018, 2017. I can't explain it. Like, of course, I was going through certain things in my life, but like, because they typically say hardship and things of that sort draw you near to the Lord. Like, when we're going through things, we always want to look to God to save us and help us, right? Not knowing and not really believing in the fact that everything that's happening is calculated according to His plan. So it's like, he's lining everything up anyway. Why are you trying to tell him to get you out of this situation when that situation is building character, right? But with that being said, like we all go through tough times. So I didn't put this tough situation like past any of the other ones I've experienced in the past, is what I'm getting at. But I was going through a time to where like 2017, 2018, I would say 2018, randomly, like I was just hungering for the word. I was going reading my Bible. Like I was praying more frequently. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know what it was, but I think at that point in time, God was calling me in terms of like the trajectory, or leading me down the path in which I was going to have to, be in seasons of isolation, learn how to focus on Him and His voice, learn how to hear His voice, read more of Scripture. I was just getting more spiritually inclined, and obviously God has perfect timing for everything. So I believe wholeheartedly it was pertaining to a timeline of things that He needed me to get privy to before He started like, opening doors or putting me in positions that I could actually handle. So I can't explain it. Like I titled this video that I wasn't looking for God because I wasn't, man. And it's crazy how the times like God will corner us essentially. Well, that's just a figure of speech, but He'll reach out. He make it very apparent that, hey, He's trying to get across to you. Or there's times to where like you think He's not even there, but He's there the whole time, right? Because typically we have those seasons or those moments of silence where we think God's not hearing anything. And like some say, those seasons of silence, or where we're thinking He's silent, is when He's doing the most work, right? So I tend to think the opposite of everything. If I'm down and sad, thinking that I'm not getting accomplished, I think things are getting accomplished. And I'm being still and understanding the magnitude and power of God. Of course, we need to still progress, do things, but it's ultimately in God's hands. That's why I don't fret too much about the timing, and I don't fret too much about me missing days. And because at the end of the day, I'm a human. And God can really analyze the heart. But if I analyze myself, I'm not lazy. I'm not out here trying to not be productive. It's one thing if you're throwing your hands up and then you're not even really doing anything to, like the folks who put in zero work but wonder what's going on. It's like, bro, come on, you got to do something. So I don't think I'm shooting myself in the foot from that perspective. But I wanted to make this video because in the times of you thinking you're alone, and in the times to where you're thinking God is so distant, He's probably, He's close as ever. At times where you're not really searching for Him, He's still molding everything according to His plan. He's still, putting the ducks in a row, crossing the T's, dotting the I's. So that's something I would really get you to consider. And it's crazy how my mindset has changed more so along the lines of understanding who I am in God and who I am as His child. The enemy's always going to plant the lies in your mind and get you to doubt and not believe that God's there, and that He can't do all things, and He's not working out things in your favor. And it's crazy how like now I'm just like, that's a lie. You know what I'm saying? Like these thoughts start coming through my head, and I'm like, that's not true. That's not true either. That's a lie. that's the enemy. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm able to pinpoint it a bit more, or I'm able to stand on it, right? Because we know evil things and negative things aren't from the Lord. He's not going to put you in a confusing situation. He's not a God of confusion. So when you feel confused and manipulated and like you're not thinking clearly, that's the enemy. So it's like at this point in time, I don't even struggle with, oh, is that God anymore? Like that ain't God. You know, that's not how the Lord would want me to think about my situation. That's not how the Lord would want me to think about myself. You see what I'm getting at? So with that being said, it's like I'm able to easily throw out the trash thoughts and discard them, right? Um, so yeah, like in the moment of time to where like I was brought up in the church, so I've always had somewhat of a relationship with the Lord. I was very rebellious because I came from a background that was very, some would say legalistic, like traditional in the sense like you gotta be in church, and if you don't dress this way, and like God is not gonna love you if you know what I'm saying, the very legalistic, religious view in terms of faith and belief. So of course I naturally rebelled. I didn't want to be like, I wasn't in the services. Me and my friends would run outside of the sermon, you know, getting caught by the elders or whatever it may be, you know. But God always followed me, and that's the thing of the beauty about being His children. Like there's no separation. He always going, even when you think you're not doing your part, God always faithful, bro. He always faithful. He doing His thing. So I say that to say, in the moments where you think or feel lost, you may not have that perfect or close bond with the Lord now. Maybe you're working on your relationship. He's still moving. He's still in your corner. Even in the times to where you're not seeking Him as He would like you to be, He's still doing things. He's still meeting you where you are. And He still is completely transparent on your situation and what's going on. So comment down below, man. Let me know y'all's thoughts on this. But it's a beautiful thing to be a part of the family and believe, because it takes off a big burden. A lot of the stress and the worry, God got you. A lot of feeling like you're insufficient, God's sufficient. You know, so it's like you don't have to worry about the minuscule things that the world really worry about. You know, so really consider that. Really think about that. In the times to where you think you're lost and y'all's relationship isn't fine-tuned, there's precepts and promises that will never be erased in terms of how God still has your back, how God's still looking out for you, and He still loves you regardless. So comment down below. Let me know y'all's thoughts, man. Peace, love, prosperity. God bless y'all. We'll see y'all in the next video, man. We out.